Alberto, I will give you another one. Who is the prettiest girl in Italy?
My mother is the prettiest girl in Italy.
Okay, I'm sure she is. Thank you, everyone. Now, this is the best time to look and listen.
Look and listen.
The Mississippi is the longest river in the United States. The New York Times is the most interesting newspaper in the world. Seneca Lake is the deepest lake in the United States. French perfume is the best perfume in the world.
Read and repeat.
Now, let's quickly review. There is and there are, to show that something exists. For example, there are 4 chairs in the kitchen. There is a new stove. There are 4 plants in the living room. There is a new book on the table. So there are and there is give information. They can also be used in the negative. For example, there aren't 4 chairs in the kitchen. There isn't a new stove. There aren't 4 plants in the living room. There isn't a book on the table. There is and there are can also be used in positive and negative question forms. Take a look at some examples. Are there 4 chairs in the kitchen? Isn't there a new stove? Aren't there 4 plants in the living room? Isn't there a book on the table? Okay. We're also going to review some. Remember, we can use some for both count and non-count nouns. For example, there are some chairs in the living room. There was some noise in the kitchen. There were some pillows on the bed. There was some information in the book on the table. Now remember, we use any in negative sentences and questions. Okay, and any is also used for count or non-count nouns. Let's look at some examples. There aren't any chairs in the living room. There wasn't any noise in the kitchen. There weren't any pillows on the bed. There wasn't any information in the book on the table. We also use any in questions. Let's look at some examples. Were there any chairs in the living room? Was there any noise in the kitchen? Okay, now we're ready to practice. Linda, are there any chairs in your bedroom?
Yes, there are some chairs. There are 3 chairs.
Great. Alberto, isn't there a computer in your kitchen?
No, there is not a computer in my kitchen. There is a computer in the living room.
Oh, okay. Sylvia, are there any rocking chairs in your living room?
Yes, there is one. There aren't any armchairs.
All right, great. Thank you. Now there is some time to look and listen.
Look and listen.
There weren't any pencils in Tom's desk. George didn't buy any furniture for the new room. We need some new silverware for the kitchen. There is a new microwave in the kitchen.
Read and repeat.
Now let's review polite questions beginning with can and would. Okay, let's first look at some examples. Would you buy me a ticket? Can I have the train schedule? Would you sit in this seat, please? Can I buy a bottle of perfume at this duty-free shop? And of course, we can use please to make the question even more polite. Okay, let's practice using these question words. Sylvia, let's pretend you work at an information desk at the airport.
Okay.
And Alberto will pretend you work at the ticket office at the bus station.
Okay.
And Linda, you are at the train station.
Okay.
So, Alberto, can I buy a ticket to Rome, please?
Yes, you can. It will cost you $40.
Ooh, that's expensive. Sylvia, would you tell me where the customs office is?
Sure, it is down the corridor.
Thank you. Linda, can you point out the restrooms for me, please?
There's the ladies' room. I don't know where the men's room is.
Good, thank you, everyone. Now, would you please look and listen?
Look and listen.
Can you show me how to find gate 12? Would you help me with this schedule? Can you find the ticket office? Would you tell me where the departure gates are?
Read and repeat.
It's time to review imperatives and sequence words. Imperatives and sequence words. Okay, first some examples. Let's start with imperatives. Stop shouting. Leave the room now. Please make your bed. Please help your sister. So an imperative is an order or command, right? You're asking someone or telling someone to do something. It is something that must be done immediately, and it is often followed by an explanation point. Okay, let's practice. What are some imperatives you always hear me say?
Answer the questions.
Yes, good.
Look and listen.
Right.
Fill in the blanks.
Yes.
Ask a question.
Okay.
Listen and write.
Of course.
Read the story.
Good. And you always do them, right?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Sometimes. Okay. Now, let's review sequence words. Here are some examples. First, open the box. Second, take the television out. Next, put it on the table. Finally, plug it in. Okay, so sequence words show the order of events. They tell us which order the events happen. Some examples of sequence words are first, so of course something happened first. Second, next, finally. Okay, so first, second, next, finally. Let's practice. I want to make spaghetti. What should I do, Linda?
First, you must buy spaghetti.
Good. Then what, Sylvia?
Second, you must boil water.
Okay, Linda?
Next, you put the spaghetti in the boiling water and cook it.
All right. Alberto?
Finally, after it is cooked, you can put tomato sauce or butter on it.
You are good cooks. Thank you. Now it's time to look and listen.
Look and listen.
Catch the ball. Wash your hands. Come quickly. Go to your room now.
Read and repeat.
Time to review simple past. Simple past tense. Let's take a look at some examples. Columbus discovered America. Mother Teresa brought kindness to poor people. I was happy on the 4th of July. George Bush dove into the pool. So the simple past is used to describe actions that started and finished in the past. Okay. Let's take a look at some forms. For walk, we add ed to form the simple past. Walked. Jump, jumped. Direct, directed. But some verbs are irregular. For example, run in the simple past becomes ran. Bring becomes brought. Do becomes did. Okay, let's practice now. I think everyone knows the simple past, right?
Yes.
Okay, Linda, when did Franco become the leader of Spain?
I don't know. I think he became the leader in 1928.
Yes, I think you're right. Sylvia, how did Christopher Columbus get to America?
I think he sailed in his boat. I think he had 3 boats.
Very good. Alberto, when did Mussolini die?
He died in 1945. He was a bad leader. My grandfather hated him.
Very good, thank you. Now we can also use used to describe past experiences. So we use used to describe actions or situations in the past that are no longer true, that we no longer do. In the past, okay, let's look at some examples of used to. He used to be in the army. My mother used to run, but now she doesn't. We used to speak only our language, but now we also speak